Hey, everybody, my name is Danielle, and this is Chatter Out Loud. Thank you so much for joining me. Your presence is very much appreciated. So, welcome or welcome back. Today, I'm going to chat about Hallmark's Countdown to Christmas new original movie, The Holiday Sitter. The Holiday Sitter. It premiered on Sunday, December 11th at 8 p.m. Eastern on the Hallmark Channel, and it stars Jonathan Bennett and George Krissa. And the synopsis is as follows. When Sam, a workaholic bachelor, babysits his niece and nephew before the holidays, he recruits help from their handsome neighbor Jason and finds himself in an unexpected romance. All right, I was looking forward to this one. The Holiday Sitter is the Hallmark Channel's first holiday rom-com with a leading same-sex couple. Hallmark is not shying away from diversity. This company has chosen to ensure that their brand tells family-friendly stories, yeah, and that their stories are inclusive. Personally, I like it. Seeing a common lived experience for so many members of the Hallmark audience, I feel is important. And representation is very necessary to reflect on screen. So I like it. Okay, I also want to say that this movie, The Holiday Sitter, is just as charming and just as corny as any other Hallmark Christmas movie that we've watched all season. Which I also like. And that's why I continue to return and watch this channel. I like the love, I like the romance, I like the cheese, I like the happy endings, I like the light stories, all of it. All right, The Holiday Sitter, let's get into it. We meet Sam, who's a workaholic, living his best life as a bachelor in the NYC. Just as he's ready to fly out to Hawaii for Christmas, he gets a call from his sister to get him to watch her kids for a few days while she goes with her husband to go pick up their new baby. They are adopting. The baby is coming early. The due date was supposed to be after the new year, but of course, the baby, you can't control that, right? So the baby's coming a few days before Christmas. So the sister reaches out to Sam because he's the only one available that's able to watch her kids, right? And the kids are a teen nephew and a young niece. Anyway, I cracked up when Sam arrived in town. Well, first of all, let me back up. He agreed, he came into town. All right, so he arrived in town and went to the wrong house. So that was funny. Well, that wrong house is the house of Jason, the guy next door, who's a handsome man. He's a contractor that's actually putting together the nursery for the new baby at his sister's house, or not Jason's sister, but at Sam's sister's house. Um, uh, so the sister leaves a detailed schedule for Sam to follow while they're away, along with takeout menus to avoid the kitchen fire he caused the last time he babysat. And they show a little flashback of that incident. Which, by the way, was so funny because he had this mustache. Sam had this mustache. That mustache looked a mess. Anyway, Sam realizes he's ill equipped for the job at best, and then he enlists the help of Jason, who happens to be the youngest of, I believe, 8. I think he said something like that. But anyway, Jason has a big family with lots of nieces and nephews. And so he has experience with kids. So once he learned that, Sam is like, yeah. So he hires Jason as an uncle consultant, which I thought was cheesy. And then the story develops from there. All right. So a few observations. The opening scenes, I love the shots. I think they were in 4K. The color was so vibrant. The picture was so sharp. I really noticed the difference, enough to call it out. So I love the shots that they had for the opening scenes there. We have the familiar trope in the story, and this is when Sam realizes that Jason was gay. um, and it was based on the statement when Jason told Sam that he had paint on his Rossini loafers. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Anyway, he named the brand of the loafers, right? And it reminded me of Legally Blonde, when Elle was going to get water from the water fountain. And Enrique, I think that was his name, he cut in line anyway, and she started stomping her shoes. And he's like, "Don't stomp your last season Prada shoes at me, honey." And then a light bulb went off in Elle Woods' mind because she says, "Gay men know designers, straight men don't." Anyway, you have to watch the whole Legally Blonde to understand that line. But that's what it brought me to when he said the name of the shoes, and then they kind of gave like this eye, like he raised his eyebrow. It was like kind of hint, hint, yeah. And so that's when he realized that Jason was gay. All right, moving forward. The daughter, I think her name was Danya, she didn't look happy about getting a little sister or little brother or a younger sibling, right? And I liked how I liked the resolve that came about after she spoke with her Uncle Sam. There we saw, and Jason saw it too, because he was looking through the door, that Sam could be parental, right? And that there was something deeper to him, and it was heartwarming. It was a pivotal moment, I thought. And then the chat between Sam and his sister towards the end of the movie, and that was the discussion that they had. The one that explains why he's always been terrified of having a family, or even if that was ever an option for him. I thought that was a great scene. Again, heartwarming. We had a lot of funny in the movie, of course, and some cheese. I like the uncle consultant. I thought that was cute. So that made me laugh. That was the cheesy part. There was a funny line in the movie because the last time Sam babysat the kids, a whole fire, or they always tease him like he almost burned down the house because he overcooked a piece of meat. Anyway, um they were talking about this, and he says, "Oh, so because the sister left takeout menus and all this stuff so he wouldn't have to cook." And they were like, "Well, isn't that expensive?" He's like, "It's cheaper than a remodel." I thought that was funny. It was like cleverly done, or cleverly slipped in there. Um, anyway, I enjoyed this movie. I did laugh where we were supposed to laugh. It was feel good. I thought it was good in all ways of Hallmark. I really liked it. I thought it fit the Hallmark model, and I thought it worked, and I liked it. The performances were really good. I felt I believed these guys, the lead men, in their roles. The timing and the cadence and the delivery of their lines worked well. Great chemistry to me. As with all Hallmark movies, we pretty much can guess the ending. But the way this story unfolded, I liked it a lot. It was cute. It was warm. It wasn't hard to follow. The story it had me engaged. I really liked it. Um, one other thing I wanted to point out is Jonathan Bennett's performance. He has these big eyes, and that just plays into the story to me. Every time I see him, I think the eyes are key to some of his roles. I believe. Like when I see him in Lifetime murder movies, he looks like the deranged stalker or killer, right? So the eyes work. And in this movie, the eyes worked as well because it played into his comedic strengths, right? When he was like looking like, oh my God. I don't know. It just worked. It just worked. The guy that played Jason, his name is George Krissa. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. He was so stoic to me, but yet charming. His character was really really likable, and I think he was. Well, I think he's really handsome. He had a very pretty smile. I thought as a lead, he did a great job in this role alongside of a Hallmark vet, right? And he held his own. I like this movie a lot. I recommend it. It's a good watch. They had a great kiss at the end, Hallmark style, of course. And the family cheered. I don't know, it was so warm and fuzzy. I liked it. We had Christmas throughout. I appreciated this movie. I like the representation. I like the diversity. I like these stories. So good for you, Hallmark, for sharing diverse stories. This was a good one. The Holiday Sitter. Have you seen the movie? What did you think? You have to let me know your thoughts in a comment below. And that's all I have, so be sure to come back and give me a listen. I'd love for you to like, share, follow, comment, and subscribe, all of which will help my channel grow, so thank you in advance. My name is Danielle, and you're listening to Chatter Out Loud. Thank you so much for joining me, and as always, I appreciate your support. And that's all I have. Thanks again for listening, and I'll talk to you next time.